Shocking things that happen to INFJs when they finally leave toxic relationships. When an INFJ personality type, one of the rarest and most compassionate personality types, decides to leave a toxic relationship, it's no small feat. INFJs are known for their loyalty, empathy, and deep commitment to the people they care about. But when their boundaries have been crossed too many times, and the toxicity becomes too much to bear, an INFJ will make the brave choice to walk away. However, leaving a toxic relationship doesn't just end the hardship, it often marks the beginning of a shocking transformation that can be intense, healing, and even life-changing. Today, we'll dive deep into the surprising changes that happen to INFJ male and INFJ female when they finally free themselves from toxic relationships. If you're an INFJ or know one, stay tuned, because this journey will likely sound familiar. INFJs, known in the Myers-Briggs personality types as the introverted, intuitive, feeling, and judging type, are empathetic and highly intuitive individuals. They deeply invest themselves in their relationships, often seeing and believing in the potential of their partners or friends. People with the INFJ personality naturally take on the role of caregivers, providing emotional support and understanding to those they care for. However, this same empathy and commitment can make INFJs especially vulnerable to toxic people who take advantage of their kindness. Because of their strong sense of loyalty, INFJs often stay in unhealthy relationships much longer than they should, trying to fix the other person or make the relationship work. But when they do leave, the transformation they experience is nothing short of shocking. 1. The relief and release of emotional weight. When INFJs finally leave a toxic relationship, one of the first things they experience is a profound sense of relief. This is often coupled with the realization of just how much emotional energy they were investing in the other person. INFJs are naturally empathetic and absorb the emotions around them, so in a toxic relationship, they may have spent years carrying the weight of another person's negativity, anger, or insecurities. When they leave, they're shocked to find an almost physical release of tension, as if a heavy burden has finally been lifted. 2. Discovering their own identity again. In toxic relationships, INFJ male and INFJ female can lose touch with their own identity, prioritizing the needs, desires, and emotions of their partner. They often shape their own behavior to avoid conflict and keep the peace. But once they leave, they're shocked to realize how much of themselves had been suppressed. They start rediscovering their likes, dislikes, passions, and dreams. This journey back to self can feel liberating, as INFJs reconnect with the parts of themselves they'd forgotten or set aside. 3. The INFJ emotional cleanse. Individuals with the INFJ personality are deeply emotional and intuitive, often internalizing stress and negative emotions during a toxic relationship. When they leave, they go through a process of what can be called an emotional cleanse. This is a time when they allow themselves to fully feel and process all the suppressed anger, hurt, and frustration they've accumulated. It's often an intense experience, but it's necessary for healing. During this period, INFJs may find themselves crying, journaling, or talking through their emotions as they let go of the pain they've held onto for so long. 4. Experiencing the power of the INFJ door slam. People with the INFJ personality type are famously known for their door slam, a coping mechanism where they completely cut off contact with someone who has hurt or betrayed them. Leaving a toxic relationship often triggers this. Once they've decided to walk away, they're firm in their decision. The INFJ door slam isn't meant to be cruel, it's a protective boundary that helps them heal and prevents further harm. By shutting the door, INFJs reclaim their emotional space and protect themselves from being drawn back into toxic dynamics. 5. Developing a new sense of independence. After leaving a toxic relationship, INFJ men and INFJ women often feel shocked by their newfound independence. In an unhealthy relationship, they may have lost confidence or felt dependent on the other person. Now, with the weight lifted, they start rediscovering their inner strength and autonomy. INFJs are incredibly resilient, and this period of independence allows them to explore who they are without the influence of a toxic partner. Many INFJs find this part of the journey empowering as they build self-trust and learn to rely on themselves. 6. Increased focus on self-care and healing. INFJs often neglect their own needs when they're focused on maintaining a relationship, especially a toxic one. When they leave, they're finally able to redirect their energy back to themselves. They might start prioritizing self-care in ways they hadn't before, from spending more time on hobbies they enjoy to creating a daily routine that supports their well-being. They may even seek therapy or spiritual practices to help them process the trauma of the relationship and focus on self-growth. This newfound dedication to self-care can feel transformative. 7. Strengthening of personal boundaries. INFJs often struggle with setting boundaries, especially in toxic relationships where their empathy is exploited. But once they leave, they begin to understand the importance of protecting their energy. They realize that healthy boundaries are not just important, they're essential for their well-being. INFJs often become more selective about who they allow into their lives and are much quicker to set limits with people who drain them emotionally. This new sense of boundary setting is often one of the most shocking but empowering changes they experience. 8. Heightened self-respect and self-worth. In toxic relationships, INFJs may be belittled, manipulated, or made to feel unworthy. When they leave, they start to rebuild their self-respect. They come to recognize their own value and see that they deserve to be treated with respect. This is a pivotal change, as INFJs begin to prioritize relationships that are supportive and healthy, refusing to settle for less than they deserve. This new sense of self-worth can be shocking to those around them, who may have taken their kindness for granted. 9. A deeper connection to their intuition. INFJs are naturally intuitive, but toxic relationships can cloud their judgment, making them doubt their instincts. After leaving, they find their intuition returning stronger than ever. INFJs learn to trust their gut feelings, relying on their inner wisdom to guide them toward healthier relationships and life choices. This renewed connection to their intuition is not only empowering, but it's also a reminder of how capable they are of making decisions that align with their true selves. 10. Redefining relationship standards. Having experienced the effects of a toxic relationship, INFJs become much more discerning when it comes to future relationships. They're less likely to ignore red flags and more likely to value honesty, respect, and empathy in a partner or friend. INFJs hold themselves to high standards, and once they know the impact of toxicity, they aren't afraid to set high standards for those around them. They'll no longer accept behavior that disrespects or undervalues them. 11. Discovering their purpose and inner strength. Toxic relationships can distract INFJs from their goals and purpose. After leaving, they're often surprised by how much energy and focus they have to pursue their passions and dreams. Many INFJs find a renewed sense of purpose, diving into work or causes that align with their values. They start to realize how strong they truly are and often feel inspired to use their experiences to help others. 12. Building stronger, healthier connections. One of the most beautiful things that happen when an INFJ leaves a toxic relationship is their ability to form healthier, more meaningful connections. With their newfound boundaries, self-worth, and clarity, INFJs are better equipped to recognize genuine connections. They become more open to friendships and relationships that are mutually supportive, built on trust and respect. This final step in their transformation marks a powerful new chapter. If you're an INFJ who has finally left a toxic relationship, know that you're not alone in this transformation. What you're going through is intense, but it's also a beautiful process of rediscovering your strength, setting boundaries, and embracing your worth. Each of these changes represents your resilience and growth. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and share it with anyone else who might benefit from these insights.